Well, there's one's got a bone in its mouth or something like that. What I'm looking here is to measure up to see what I can do to make a spacer that will hold that will work between the pilot and that way I can make a fixed uh, pilot on this engine. Now remember, I'm planning on doing it on both those F units, but of course, I'm going to experiment on the dummy first because I paid a lot less money for the dummy, and if I screw up, you know, at least I didn't screw up the expensive one. By the way, I want to help you. I want to thank you for coming back to the Withlacoochee River Railroad, and thank you for rejoining me on the Menards Mods Madness. So let's get started. Follow me through the intro and let's get started. Okay. As you can see, I've gotten the engine down now, and I've got the truck taken loose. It's still connected via the ground wire there. I was able to disconnect the red striped wire there, the red and white striped wire that was going down to the pickup roller. I had to use my big screwdriver to get the engine apart. It seems I had to do that last time too. Looks like those two screws there hold the pilot on. And then you got the screw there that kind of holds the coupler in. So, let's see here. Alrighty. Oh, that ain't gonna work. That's a flathead. I actually had to use the flathead to loosen that wire up. Okay. Oh, that thing ain't acting nice at all, is it? All right, we got that one out. All right. Gotta push down on it a little bit to get it loosened up, and let's all right. And what do you know? The pilot comes out. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good looking pilot there. And this here will take the and of course, naturally, I'm going to have to use the big screwdriver. My big Craftsman here with probably All right. And we can get that coupler to fall out. Yep. There it is. And that coupler is out. And looks like we can go back in now. We've got the truck clear. And I'm going to go ahead and put the truck back in. That's always fun. No motor on this truck. Oh, looks a little weird without a lower jaw, doesn't it? But if we were to take, and what we will do here is probably have to cut straight across here. But it's completely possible we can glue this to the shell. And I wonder. I'm betting we could. Because it will mount right onto that shell just fine if we glue it to the shell. Now, whether it would hold or not, that's what's debatable. Let me show you. If you turn it sideways, you do have a slight indentation right here leading up to the floor pan. And of course, you'll have to cut off this portion of the, because you don't want it coming up under the truck. But there's more than enough of this pilot here to mount a Kadee coupler to. This is all pretty much flat. That's just a little mold line there. So this lower part here would have to be discarded. May have to take and drill it out, drill holes and actually mount it to the frame to some degree here. But it looks like it would, if this is all true styrene plastic, it will probably glue right on just fine. This would probably glue right to the shell just fine. Your only drawback would be, so you can't have it go all the way back there and yeah, you'd have a little interference with the but absolutely it could mount there just fine. And your access screw is still almost accessible if you ever had to take the shell off, which means that when we get to the powered unit, we're going to have to make a little bit. We can make some modification to this to make sure that we can get the shell off, get it off of the shell. Okay. Get the shell off if we have to. It's not really that important at the moment, not on the dummy unit anyway. So let's do a little scraping here and let's see. Here, let me get this thing on the tripod. Now that I got the camera on the tripod, this is going to make life a little bit easier. So, in order to get this to work, I have to scrape some chrome off if we're going to glue it. If it'll glue. If it'll glue on, we might have enough of a spacer already in there to be able to at least mount a Kadee coupler. So, yes, I am able to scrape down. Of course, I'm going to scrape down to the plastic in here. Again, I don't know if we're dealing with normal styrene polystyrene plastic, or yeah, but that chrome comes off just fine. Let's see here. I've got a sanding pad around here somewhere. I got a ton of sanding pads. Of course, now that I need one, I can't find one. Don't you know, isn't that how it always works? You got tools everywhere. And you have all the tools you need except when you need them. I don't know. Are the Chinese capable of making normal, ordinary, everyday styrene plastic? Because you see, if you look at this, that pilot can glue right on. Now, with that extension on the back of the pilot there, where it's supposed to bolt to the truck, it won't. It just simply will not work. But the pilot can go on there just fine. And we can end up with a fixed pilot with a Kadee coupler. Yeah. All right. So, let's see here. Let's see how this thing lines up. Make sure all my wheels are on the track. So the thing is sitting right. There we go. Alrighty. So let's take a look and see just how it's setting here. Alrighty. Alright, we got a little bit we'll have to make up for there. Naturally. That I fully expected. Alright, let's see here. We put the pilot on there, or get the pilot up to it. Of course, we can't really see. Yeah, we're still going to have quite a shim in there, though. It's not so bad with the pilot up, but you know, and we're going to have a coupler in there anyway, in order to in order to be able to, because that is the dummy. It's going to be sitting, you know, facing the railroad cars from the nose end, and it's going to have to pull the railroad cars from the nose end. So with that in mind, we do need to have some kind of a shim there. So we got to figure out how to make a shim. Now, the frame on this dummy is plastic. Unlike the powered unit, which, you know, has an all-metal frame, has metal trucks, that sort of thing, the frame on this one is plastic. So, things can be glued. So, in order to get a Kadee coupler in there. Now, if we bring it down, now, like I said, this portion right here is going to have to come off if we're going to do this. So maybe it's time to consider, do you want to do this or do you not want to do this? I want to do this because, number one, I want the engine to look more realistic. And that's true on both the powered as well as the unpowered engine. I want to have Kadee couplers on the backs of each engine as well, because I want to get the couplers off there. If nothing else, at least a drawbar between the two. Yeah, okay, so they would be semi-permanently coupled together. They'd still look a heck of a lot better than, let's see, let me pull out my scale rule here, and we can take a quick look. Go to the 1/48 scale, and what we've got here, that's a long jump. That's like 8 feet jump between that unit and that unit. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have them coupled up. Let's couple them up. Maybe there's a... there we go. Now we're coupled up. Okay, 7.5 feet. 7.5 scale foot jump. Yeah, how many guys do you think you could do that? 7.5 scale feet. Yeah, I'm sorry, they just don't. They don't make crossover plates that are that long. So, in reality, 2 F units back to back like that shouldn't be more than about 3 feet apart. Let's do a little experimentation here, and we'll offset the couplers a little bit and bring it down to about 3 scale feet or so, and let's see how it looks. Yeah, that's about right there. And you can see that the units look like they belong together. So a pair of Kadee couplers right there in the middle would do it. They would do it, and they would work fine. So, yes, the big bear claw couplers, while they function, and that's really all they do is function, they would not really work correctly now, would they? So I guess it's time that we got to work and got some of these things el fixto el mundo'd. Okay, there's actually another way we could do it. We could put that unit back on there. We can put it all back together, and I probably will today, because I'll tell you, it's getting warm out here, and I'm not feeling so hot today, so I may just put it all back together and save it for another day, which means I got to pull the engine apart again. But I have to, now there is another way of doing it. We could take and put a Kadee coupler on the swinging pilot. That won't hurt anything. And then, of course, we could put Kadee couplers actually back here directly on these units, on each one. And it wouldn't matter that they wouldn't be offset, because you're going to use the 2 units together consistently anyway. So it wouldn't matter as long as those Kadee couplers line up with each other. That's all you'd have to worry about. Now, of course, naturally, at some point, I may want to just pull a train using a single unit, or different units, and in that instance, I would need that Kadee coupler set correctly. So even the ones on the back should be set correctly at the correct coupler height and whatnot. But if we're going to take and do this, we're going to have to show some courage here, because probably have to cut this little nub off of the end of the truck. What we need is a padding in here for the coupler. Well, I mean for the pilot. Because you got this in, you've got this, it's the shell is sitting over the frame, and it's going to be the same way on the powered unit as well. So, and if I put this on like that and glue it down, then yeah, it'll fit there just fine. But I'm already sitting too high for the, now it's not too high for the track. For the track, it's probably just fine. Let's see here. That's about 60 thousandths. Yeah, we could take a little piece of that, or a little piece of this, either one, and just put it down in there. Let me cut off a piece of that, and let's see if we're getting anywhere here. Okay, I know I've got a knife sitting up here somewhere. There it is. Well, oh, it's over here. How did it get over here? Alrighty, just cut a little square off of this little. Alrighty. Nice thing about styrene, score it and snap it. Alrighty. Oh, gotta be kidding me, right? Oh. Slip that down in there, and okay. See how it sits now. Oh yeah, and it's, I was about right on the measurement of the styrene. Okay. Yeah, of course you knew with that nib in there it was gonna do that. So, all right. Alrighty. I'm trying to do this in a sense without taking the thing apart. And so there is a reason I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it. And it might look like I'm jacking around a little bit, and of course I am in a way. Because you know there's that little bit of fear and trepidation here of, you know, do I really want to do this? Of course I do. I'll at least have one F unit that has everything fitting and proper on it, and it'll look right. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my moto tool out. Let's see here. Oh, it's already got a saw blade on it. That's right, because I was cutting plastic last week. It wasn't for any program, but I was cutting a little bit of plastic last week, and these little saw blades, they work great for that. Never forget your safety glasses if you're going to plug in and use a Dremel or any other kind of power tool. Power tools, all tools, whether it's heavy machinery or just a little handheld power tool like this one, can be deadly. Alrighty, let's see here. Well, let me get my thumb out of the way there so that I don't And it's off of there. Well, you know what? There ain't no turning back now, is there? Nope, no turning back now. We got to go this way. We got to go this route now. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and take off a little bit more of that so that there's no interference from the truck as the truck swivels. Yes, I want to keep that blade completely away from my hand. It's already throwing crap in my face. Okay. Well, we've reached the point of no return, that is for sure. Oh, yeah. Now we've reached the point, do we want the shell to be box stock in such a way that, you know, if you have to take the shell off, do you want to just take the shell off and leave the pilot on the frame? Might be the best way to do things. Yes, I'm scraping some of the chrome off here. And the reason you do that is because with silver paint or chrome, glues of any kind will not stick to it very well. And it looks like it's just normal, ordinary, everyday styrene. All right. We know none of that's going back in it, so I guess I could put my sanding drum in the Dremel and get all that off. This here, we don't really need that wide of a... So let's... Okay. All righty. Okay, you can see that it sits in there and it's just right about even with the, yes it is. All right. All right. This here, or we can take and we can actually attach this via and it would be attached to the shell. We would have to take the rest of that stuff out of there, but I need a place to be able to mount the Kadee coupler. So, alrighty. Let's set this thing upside down right here, and let's set this on it, and let's see if we can get some rotation out of the trucks, or out of the truck, without Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Oh, yeah. All right. So that works there that way. So we've got it that way. All right. I told you at the very beginning that the main reason I got these not only was to pull the passenger train, but to do a little experimentation on them. And that's what I'm doing here now, is a little experimentation. I want to be able to take, and let me get that sitting just right on the... Okay. Yeah. Okay, we've got enough of that removed. And like I said, if we do it correctly, now we can glue a seam right here on the anticlimber and glue that to the anticlimber. On the shell. Problem is, we would, if you have to remove the shell for some reason, now this isn't the powered unit, so I don't ever really think that the possibility is there that I'm going to remove the shell all that often, if at all. You would have to be able to remember you're going to have to pull that shell out from the back and then out. So, with that in mind, again, it's just going to take a little more engineering. Get this thing in right. So, what I'm going to do first, because we're going to want the support underneath here, that I will attach to the frame. Let's see. I know I have my E6000 around here somewhere. I had some somewhere. Oh, brother. Oh, there it is, right behind the locomotive. Okay. Now, this here, might need to thin that up or use that other thinner piece. Okay, there's no interference from the truck on that, so. Oh, all right. All righty. So, a little E6000. Oh, I need my pliers. Or a pair of pliers. I know I got them somewhere. Here's my needle nose. I have a pair of regular pliers, I really do. Having to break that cement loose is sometimes a real royal pain in the butt. But with E6000, it works just like Walther's goo. Come in here, put a little there, put a little on your plastic shim here, and you hold it in your hand all for a couple of minutes, and you let it wait. And like I said, it works just like Walther's goo. My first two rail modules, the three of them, I used E6000 to hold the rail onto the ties. I did not spike that rail down. The rail is held onto the ties with the E6000, and it's holding gauge even to this day. So, oh, that's not a good thing. All right. You want it you want the glue to get a little bit tacky. And you want to work it in there. Now that ain't coming out. It's out of the way of the frame but it's not coming out. And when you put this on, I wish I had one of those cradles, one of those engine cradles. I don't have one, but I wish I did. Can't really afford one though. Get that. Okay. Like I said, that can be attached to the anti-climber without any. Now I'll have to take and scrape the anti-climber to get the paint off of it so that the glue will bite it. Now you got to understand, the only reason that spacer is under there is to provide a solid foundation for the pilot to sit on, not just the anti-climber. In fact, it'll provide more of a solid foundation, just actually glue the pilot down to that rather than the anti-climber. That way I can pull the shell off without the shell being fully attached to the frame itself, or without the pilot being attached to the frame, or I should say to the I don't have to make any more modifications to the pilot. Sounds like the mail has arrived. Ah. It looks like it's just about right. Yeah, I'm liking that, and I think it can be done. I think it can be done. Now, when I put the Kadee coupler in there, it's going to be anchored down with screws. So, yeah, I will drill through all of that and anchor the coupler down with screws. 440 screws to be exact. Hopefully. They'll work their way right into the plastic. So, alrighty, let me go ahead and get situated in here. I got to get the coupler, I want to get the pilot on. Fortunately, that didn't fall off. So let me get a little bit more since here's a sanding pad right here. Righty. And there's one right there. All right, let me go ahead and that chrome is just metallizer that was put onto the plastic. Like I said, remember, this is the dummy unit. The dummy unit from Menards has got everything made of plastic. So let me get a little bit rougher sanding here. Alrighty. In here. All right. Damnation. It glued itself right back on, didn't it? This little cap here. My hands are no longer strong enough to pop those loose. I'm getting older. Life is getting more difficult. And that's just the way it is. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do here is work on keeping it anchored right to the locomotive frame. I think that'd be a better idea. Now let me get a little, let's get us back up this way. Oh, now it doesn't want to stand up. It stood up there for a while, didn't it? Alrighty. Well. I don't want to get any on the trucks, you understand. Don't need much, just a little bit. All right. If all you have is Walther's goo, well, you can use that too. And we're going to let this sit for a few minutes and get that glue to, there we go. Get that glue to tack up, and we're going to get it in there. I'm beginning to feel a little better now because I've got something done. Here, for too long, I might have to mow the lawn and stuff, you know. And it's getting hot out here. Welcome to Florida. Welcome to Florida, they said. You're going to love it, they said. Stays warm year-round, they said. Yeah, they didn't tell you that you didn't get any seasons. Alrighty. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera back just a hair here. And I'm going to hold this while the glue sets. And the reason I'm going to hold it is because I want to be able to get this correct. I want the pilot centered under the center of the anticlimber, not off to one side like it's trying to do. Okay, I'm going to have to let this thing set upside down for, a little while anyway. Probably have to touch the paint up on that a little bit. Alrighty. I've got it sitting in the track there so it stays sitting up. Yeah, not looking too bad. Now you gotta remember, I'm looking at it upside down. If I have to take it apart again, I'm going to be kind of PO'd. But it's got to have time to set up. Yeah, it's on that just fine. All right. We got good clearance there on the truck. On the front truck. All right. Looks like I cut away enough material on that pilot to make it work. So let's give it time to dry and I will be back. Okay, the great front coupler saga. That's what we're dealing with. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a wait here because I had it turned over sitting on the track and getting ready to check the with the coupler height gauge as to how much shimming I'm going to have to do. It doesn't look like much actually, surprisingly, which is a good thing. But then again, the pilot started to droop, so may end up having to literally screw that pilot in, which would be okay. I don't mind. It just I really didn't want to have to drill a bunch of holes. I know I'm going to have to drill holes to put the Kadee couplers in. I get that, but dang it, man. So I may have to pull it over and put a drill bit in the and just kind of put a couple of screws through there to make it hold. Don't worry, it won't ever come out then for sure. Oh, sounds like the trash is coming today. It's Monday. So you're getting a Monday night madness on Monday here. Alrighty, let's see here. What time is it? I can't. It's not showing up on my. I know it's probably close to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon here. Alrighty. Let's see. Yeah, I probably have a couple of screws, couple of wood screws in here that'll hold it. All right. So, all righty. Drill bits, drill bits, drill bits. Drill bits. And let's see here. Okay, where's my little wrench for my Dremel? Where'd it go to? I'm assuming it got up and walked off somewhere. That's kind of what it's looking like to me. Really? Really, people? You have to do this to me? Let's see, did I change it over here anywhere? I'm sure I put that little tool wrench right back where it belonged, because I'm always going to put it where I never am going to forget where it is. Well, son of a gun. Don't that figure? Okay, yeah, the reason I'm looking for it was I had set it someplace where I wouldn't forget where it was at. Of course I did. And of course I forgot right where it was at. Excuse me while I change the collet in my Dremel. So I can actually hold a drill bit. One of these little Dremel drill bits. I guess I probably would do much better if I set up the drill press for this, but eh. No, that ain't gonna work. I need a different collet. You hate drilling stuff out, don't you? I know I do. I could, I guess, use a little, just a hair larger bit, because I don't really need it to be that small there. Let's see here. Yeah, I can use the next size up, I think, provided I can get to it. Alrighty. That one should be enough to... Okay. We got it that time. All I got to do is get a couple of holes drilled off to the right and the left of the center line there. Alrighty. Naturally, that's not going to work. Oh, it's going to work. I didn't mean to put it like that. All right. These are much older style screws. And of course it moved it. So evidently that glue, my E6000, ain't as great as I thought it was. Alrighty. Oh, come on, really? I hate doing precision work on camera. It never comes out quite as precise as I would like it to. Come on, get in there. Really, you're going to give me some trouble, huh? All right. Are you kidding me? What a pain in the butt. Yeah, I know. It's a royal pain here. Don't you know where I stuck that screw? Oh, yeah, now I do. I'm going to make sure I get this thing drilled out. Alrighty. Back to the point where I can't see anything anymore. What the hell? Come on now. Get on in there. Damnation! The hell? It just doesn't want to go down into that hole. I don't get it. Makes me wonder what kind of plastic did these idiots make it out of? Really? Really? Come on now. Makes you wonder, how is this going to stay together, period. All righty. Okay, it's like it's not. We are getting it on, one way or another. It is going to go on. I really do not care how it goes on, just so long as it goes on. And it is going to go on. I can't see a thing. That's what you get with sunlight outside. And let's see. Oh, that's a flathead screw. No wonder. Thought it was a... Alrighty. Okay, we got it in there. Started. And it doesn't want to go down worth a dang. Or with a bang, for that matter. There it goes. Okay. All right. And hey, it's nice and centered anyway. All right, let me get another screw. Hopefully just like the last screw. That one is not it. Don't want something that's going to stick up. May not be another screw. Okay. Nope. Not another screw like that one, but that one's holding. So, yeah, it's not coming off. So it's good. Let's go ahead and let's make some checks here. There we go. All right. Oh, heck, maybe about a 1/16 of an inch to put the Kadee coupler in. Okay, as you can see, I've got the pilot on there. And it looks like a big gap there, but it's not as big as you think. It might be about 100,000ths of an inch. About 1/8 of an inch, maybe. Maybe a 1/16. I'm not sure. You know, not just by looking at it. But it's not going to be that hard to put a Kadee coupler on the front. And then next week, you may see me going through the hassles of putting... I'm not going to put couplers in on camera. I refuse to put couplers in on camera. But in the meantime, I got to give you a little reprieve here from all this. Yeah, I really haven't changed the train from when I did some. I ended up working last week, most of the week. But we've gone through some of the madness that I was worried about, and I got through it, and I was able to make it work. I was able to make it work for me. Whether this same type of system works for you or not, I couldn't tell you. Why don't we pull the train around here, get that thing on the track, in front of that other locomotive. And we'll see if it works. Alrighty. Whoops. I'm going to get this off of the tripod, I hope. All right. And we can watch it as it comes around the bend. Oh, yeah, that's... Yeah, that looks a whole lot better to me. Oh, by the way, the lights in the dummy work fine. I just turned them on. Well, we got it back on the yard track now. Well, not too bad, really. Not shabby at all. I watched the truck as it swiveled, and the pilot didn't. And that was my main purpose for making a fixed pilot. Now all I got to do on this one is get the Kadee coupler in it, turn the lights back off again, because... And then next week we'll work on also putting the pulling that coupler off and putting a Kadee on the back as well. And we may put Kadees on the back of both of them. may just install Kadees and solidify that couplers, or solidify, because this was to see if I could do it and do it successfully. And obviously that's I achieved that. I achieved that. So you know, until next time, happy railroading. Oh, come on, really? It don't like pulling that hill with that heavy train. But you can see that it worked. So Maybe in next week's show or the next Menards Mods Madness, we'll do the powered unit. Till next time, happy railroading.